What's up? This is Tony from Papa Roach, and you are watching Grasser Production.
Hello and welcome to Grasser Production. My name is Andrea and I'm sitting here with Tony Palermo, the drummer of Papa Roach. Thank you for taking your time.
Thanks for taking your time.
You're back in Germany, this time with your own headline tour, including 7 dates. What has changed since your last visit, and who chose your originally planned supporting acts?
Well, what has changed is we have been able to bring more of a production, more of a show, and then we're playing longer, so we're able to add some deeper cuts that people don't normally hear. And yeah, the set, we come out hard and we just go, we get to take people on a journey through the history of Papa Roach, and it feels really good knowing that we have a solid show to bring to people every night, and just seeing people's faces. I mean, people are in the crowd like just going ballistic, and points in the set where they're just crying, and it's like, it's just a range of emotions for all of us. It's awesome. It feels great.
And who chose your supporting acts, or the planned ones, which now changed?
It had changed. We always have the conversation with our booking agents, and to see, we try and determine what our fans would like to see. If it's a new band or a band that's been around for a while, we just try and make it interesting. And obviously, Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes, we were really super excited to bring out, but unfortunately they had to drop off the tour. But so it's usually just us talking to the booking agents and trying to sum up what the best plan would be.
Yeah. As you mentioned, the day before the tour started, Frank Carter announced that they won't be on tour. The reason being depression, as he already wrote on Facebook. What is your consideration on that? Why has this disease been growing so quickly, and why did so many musicians already have to leave?
Yeah, I mean, when I first read his news that was given to us by our management, it was like, what? I was like, no, really, dude? Like, it's a week before or whatever, like, how can it be that bad? And then I sat back and was like, okay, well, thankfully, this is what we try and tell people through our music, as well as like in interviews. Like, if you're going through something dark and deep, like, please reach out and get help. So initially I was bummed because we were so excited when we met them and we decided to tour. It was going to be great. And then it went from excitement to like, okay, obviously something is really hurting him to bow out of a tour. And, we as musicians and players, we love touring and playing live for people. So it had to be pretty serious for him to do that. So that's when I was like, okay, obviously he's doing the right thing for himself and reaching out and getting help. And so for me it went from like, not anger, but I was just bummed, and to like, okay, cool, like he needs to take care of himself, Yeah,
let's switch to your other German tour support, Callejon.
Yeah.
Where did you guys meet in the first place? How did you get to know each other?
Just through this tour. We'd never met them before. So
you didn't choose them?
Yeah, no, we chose them, but we'd never met them as people. Mm-hmm. So, but it's been cool. They're super chill, like, whenever you tour with a band for the first time, it's like everybody for the first week kind of like, in the shows backstage, you're sort of like, hey, and then as the tour progresses, you start to like, party some more, like, and like the other night they were having a big birthday party and it was just crazy loud. And so it usually takes about a week or two to kind of get to know everybody in the camp. And
Had you heard their music before?
Yeah. And they sing only in German. Yeah. So it's cool. It's like, I think it's good for the German fans to, I think they appreciate that, because we I think that's the first time we've ever taken a band out that doesn't sing in English.
Papa Roach is existing for about 24 years now already, and had only very few changes of members. How can you explain that? What is your secret that keeps you together?
Well, you know, the three guys that are still the original guys, you know, they all grew up together. So, you know, I think that has a lot to do with it. You know, being just such a core base of friends, and you know, it's a family. And yeah, I think that everybody's in it from the beginning, you know, and obviously I'm newer, but I still feel and share the same dreams, hopes. I still get excited to go on stage with, as does, you know, Jacoby, Tobin, and Jerry. And I just think that just knowing that they grew up together and went to school together, it's more of a solid basis for, you know, there's just more at stake. It's like, whereas when you meet people and you join bands, it's like yeah, it's more of a family thing. Like all their families know each other, and you know, so I think that has a lot. That has a lot to be said. You know, or says a lot, I should say.
But Tony, you're part of the band for almost 10 years also, so that's quite a long time.
Yeah.
What has changed in the band history during this time?
I mean, just, you know, the fact that we try to evolve our music and our playing and getting better as musicians individually, you know, I think that's pretty much, that sums it up. You know, like we continue to explore different musical tastes and influences, and we try and really put that into the songs and evolve our songwriting skills and the way that we play on stage. And you know, obviously everybody who's seen us knows that we don't just get up there and just, you know, stand around and like do this, and you know, like we feel it and we get into it. There's a lot of energy that goes into it, and we pretty much leave it, you know, we leave it on the stage every night. And I don't think that's changed. It's just a given. That's how we perform. But yeah, I would say just the constant evolution is, you know, it's ever changing, but the music still sounds like Papa Roach. We just keep like pushing the boundaries more. Have
you somehow grown wiser? Because many rock bands tell that when they look back, they see how much they have changed and how much they have grown and became wiser.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, the business side of it, that has a lot to do with that, because you can't just, you know, the band before me, they went through a lot of like record companies and managers and booking agents and you know, spending like $600,000 on a video is just, that's absurd. Like, why would you spend that much money on filming a video? It's like 3-minute song, right? So we've definitely, you know, been wiser in the sense, the business sense is a big part of that, you know, and not trusting everybody. Like, if we decide on something, it has to be like, you know, it has to be pretty solid to decide on. We're not just like, yeah, maybe we'll do that. That's cool. But now it's a lot more yes or absolutely not. We're not going to do that. You know, and it feels good to do that, to be able to say no and, you know, keep the integrity.
Yeah. Your latest album, Crooked Teeth, was released on the 19th of May this year. For all your fans out there who may not already know, what is the actual story behind it, and what influenced the lyrics, and what is the meaning behind the title?
Well, Crooked Teeth, the record, the title is basically just kind of saying that, you know, nobody's perfect. And in an age, you know, where you have social media, everybody's trying to like look perfect, and, you know, nobody's perfect. And, you know, basically embrace your flaws, because everybody has them, and don't be ashamed of certain things in life. You know, I mean, another thing with this band is like the lyrical content is so, it just touches so many people because it's real. You know, all the lyrics are written from the heart. They're about pain, they're about hope, they're about surviving and like getting back on your feet. And you know, that's huge, and that is basically one of the main elements that I think has kept the longevity of the band intact. And you know, there's so many people that come up to us daily, like when we do meet and greets and stuff, like, you guys saved my life. And like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like we're playing music. I mean, music has always been powerful to all of us when we were growing up, listening to music, and you start playing it, and you know, to see that you can actually like influence people like that it's incredible.
Jacoby has undergone vocal cord surgery and had to cancel some live shows for this reason. Why did this all happen? And can one really recover his or her voice by surgery?
Yeah, what happens is when he's singing so hard, you know, your vocal cords are just like kind of like muscles in a way. And the same if you get like a blister. Like, it's literally like a blister, a blood blister on your vocal cord. So the quick fix is to go in and like they just razor blade, like they scrape it off. Very delicate, like, you know.
Like you do it with a blister and a
well,
needle?
yes,
Or
yeah, it depends. Yeah, not like that. You don't pop it, but it's a little more delicate than that. So they just try and remove it as much as they can. And then this time he only had a little one. So the recovery time was a lot less. So we were able to shift some shows around from the front of the tour to the end of the tour to give him, you know, an extra week of vocal rest, because he couldn't talk for 2 weeks, I think.
not at all?
Yeah, then it became then he could talk for like 5 minutes every hour. So you just like, it's rehabilitation, you know. So then we went to rehearsals before this tour in Berlin, and then we started rehearsing, and so he started singing full blown. And you never know, though. It's scary because when you can't talk, your voice is recovering, you're unsure if you have a voice again.
Yeah.
Like, so it's so scary. He's just like, he's like, oh, hello, you know, like he'll just say a word and be like, oh, okay. It's scary though.
This year, Papa Roach was even taking part in the lineup of the Bruiser Uncas festival, Matapalooza, with Five Finger Death Punch, Slayer, Anthrax, and even more. How did you like it, and what's your opinion on Bruiser Uncas?
That's the headliner band, right?
Yeah. It was the headliner. I'm not sure, but it was their festival, I think.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really know much about them, but they're sort of a controversial band, right?
Yeah.
So
still. Yeah.
I think I don't really know too much about the history of the band, but
I think it was about 30 years ago that they were like really radical right-wing tendencies. It said that they're not that like that anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a very controversial.
It's still
band.
the name is there. Yeah. So, I mean, for us, it was just about getting in front of the German fans again. You know, I mean, we're not super political and like, but obviously if it was something crazy, like serious right now, like if they were practicing some weird thing now, we would probably be like, no, we're not going to associate with that. But there were so many other great bands on that bill that we were like, okay, yeah, let's do it. It's a huge festival.
Yeah, so all in all, you liked it.
And then it was cool. And then in catering backstage, they had all these watermelons they carved every single band's face into watermelons. I was like,
that's crazy.
So amazing. Like, I've never seen that. Like the detail, everything. It was like Suicidal, Hatebreed, Five Finger, us. I was just like, what? We went down the line and filmed all the melons. So it was cool. Yeah. I think that show though, the fans, I don't know if they were like more metal fans, but they didn't seem to be that crazy for us, you know. I don't know. It felt a little weird. And we also had some technical problems on stage that, like, some of our gear was misfiring, and it was so.
Does it happen often to you?
No, it doesn't happen often, but usually when it does happen, it's not just one thing. It's like many things So it started with our intro. Our intro was, yeah, it was like something happened with the intro. It wasn't right. And we're like, what's going on? So one thing, you know, just snowballed into another. And we're just like, so, but occasionally you have those shows.
On your latest album, there's a song called American Dream. And these days where America is struggling, what is your personal American dream?
Yeah, I mean, my personal American dream now is to have somebody in office that can, you know, treat humanity like humans. Like our president, you know, I don't even like saying he's our president. It's just, it's embarrassing. And he's just
Feels unreal.
Yeah, when he got voted in, I was just, my wife and I were sitting there watching the TV just going, no, this is not happening. Like, who would vote for this guy? Like, and it's just, it's disturbing. I think he's gross and he has no compassion or empathy for anybody and I just, you know, it's the only thing I can think of is I can just look forward to like, okay, it's not forever, you know, like, no, he's not going to. So the longest term a president can be in the States is 8 years, but I hope not. Like, you know, it's just, he's just unrealistic and very egotistical and just, it's just gross. But, so my American dream is for him to be out of office.
Okay, thank you so much for the interview, Tony. Bye-bye.